And so Arizona has been particularly important in this race. Explain to us why and what we can expect there.
You know, Maricopa County is emblematic of what we're seeing in suburban communities all across America, and that is college-educated white women principally, but also other demographics moving away from the Republican Party, in some cases planning to vote for Biden even if they are registered Republicans. You know, here in Maricopa County, it's a story of vastly growing population and changing demographics driven principally by jobs. You know, there are a lot of new tech jobs here in this state. As you said, the polls suggest across these swing states that Biden has a lead. Here in Arizona, he's led by around 3 points for several months, although a new NBC Marist poll out today put him level with President Trump. Although strategists that I've spoken to in both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, say that this race is going to be much closer than the polls suggest. And one big factor is that both of them agree, Democrats and Republicans, that Trump will be able to energize his supporters to go out and vote in person. The early voting data has been substantial so far, showing, you know, that it has exceeded the 2016 election, but that is skewed towards the Democrats. So that is what Republicans are telling me here in Arizona. They expect footfall on Election Day from Trump supporters in particular to be strong. The question is whether he can get more moderate, broader Republicans to come out and vote as well. And the big factor in all of these swing states is the role of independents. You know, in the past, Republicans in Arizona have been able to win that independent vote. The question is whether they can do it again this time around.
And we know the presidential election is getting the big headlines, but crucially, we're also looking at the Senate re-election front, right? Because that's where we're going to see either policy making or policy paralysis.
Yeah, so, I mean, Biden, in the event that he wins, will need to add net 3 to get 50-50 in the Senate. Here in Arizona, it could be the case that the state returns 2 Democratic senators to Washington for the first time since the 1950s. In the 2018 midterms, the Democrats made progress with Democrat Kristen Sinema beating out Martha McSally, a Republican. Martha McSally was then returned to the Senate by the state's governor, Doug Ducey, as a replacement, an appointment on John McCain's seat, which, of course, was vacated by his sad passing. This time around, Martha McSally is up against former astronaut Mark Kelly, a Democrat. He is led in the polls by some distance. And right now, as it stands, based on polling data, it looks like Arizona will return 2 Democratic senators to Washington for the first time since the 1950s.